You wake up, you go to school, you come back, it's time to watch some G4. That was my youth, right? I came from school, I came back, I watched X Play, I watched Attack of the Show, and it was a good time. But unfortunately, eventually that network failed, and it no longer exists. However, there has been times where they have tried to revive it a few years ago, and it didn't work because it ended up being view botting. And you know what? I can't fault him for that. He was trying to save people's jobs because a lot of people relied on the job that they had in the show. However, after many years have passed, Kevin, the host of Attack of the Show, has decided to relaunch Attack of the Show on Twitch and bring it back to the glory that it once was, and it's off to a really, really bad start. The show was going very good. Great. In fact, it was having a lot of positive reception from people viewing it, and it was, a good time. Until they started talking about NFTs. Now, NFTs have a bad rap. They do. Because a lot of people often use them to take advantage of their audience to make a bunch of money for themselves and not actually care for their audience making money themselves. It's all about their money, not your guys' money, right? The people who watch this show. So when he started talking about NFTs, it was received very poorly. Understandably so, that they tried to cut it. But unfortunately, even though they cut it, it made Kevin pretty mad. And, well, we got this, and it's not good.
But maybe later we'll get to talk about Crypto Beefcakes, which is a project that you tie an NFT to a Discord account, and then if you're a positive influence in a community, it actually inflates the value of your NFT. So heaven forbid we have avatars and communities that encourage people to be kind and supportive to increase the value of something. But apparently, that's the thing that gets me canceled today, is caring about a new technology and community. Well, you're all welcome. That's my time on this one. Yeah, it's okay to hate. I'm going to sleep fine tonight. Yeah, I really will. Now, at the end of our stream in the cool down, I'm probably not going to talk about NFTs anymore because someone's going to come out with a cattle prod. Heaven forbid that happen.
I think it's very apparent to anyone that Kevin was obviously very unsettled by the negative reaction coming from chat about NFTs. All right, when you make comments about, oh, I'm going to sleep fine when nobody said you were going to sleep fine, why would you bring that up if you did not feel troubled about what you are promoting? And it just kind of gets worse. So Kevin started going on Twitter afterwards and continued to say, well, NFTs aren't bad. It was just our presentation was bad. And, we're going to, refix it. And, a more reasonable response to that criticism now. But the problem is people don't want it. Right? People don't want to talk at NFTs, right? They already have a bad rap because many people do use them to take advantage of their audience to make a bunch of money. It seems, and I don't have proof, that it's very likely that he has skin in the game, right? You don't start talking about these on air in front of thousands of people without having some sort of connection. And it's really disheartening to have to deal with this, right? What a show that I used to love as a kid. A show that many of us probably loved as a kid. And it just really, really, really blows that he goes on and just continues to say that he's going to keep doing this, even though it wasn't well received. We can even see here, he continues going, not in the current form. Like someone asked, are you really going to, have this be an ongoing segment? Not in the current form, but I absolutely plan to show NFT projects, big and small, discuss crypto blockchains through a likely loop of in-depth discussion. I'm not about to let people yuck this particular yum, though the presentation will certainly be altered. And fine, you want to talk about this, I don't like it, but maybe you could do it in a better way. But unfortunately, with the next episode of the show, it's still really not going that well, and just gives off a really, really poor appearance that they come off very, very salty about it. The internet is not what it was a decade ago, right? It's not even remotely close. You could argue that, 15 years ago, right? The internet was still very much in its infancy. It only really came around after a little bit after the mid 80s, right? And the people who grew up with the internet and was dealing with their adult lives would have been probably not super well educated about everything that exists, right? So you would be very easily be able to talk about something, and you would be able to convince your audience of a lot because they might not be informed of the subject. But when it comes to like NFTs and cryptocurrency and things like that, while there are good things in there, there are a lot of scammers. Pump and dump is a real thing. And this connection that like, oh, well, if you have positive interactions on Discord to increase the value, why would positive interactions increase the value of something? And why does that matter for me? Because it only matters if I sell it or if I buy it. If I don't buy it, it doesn't matter, right? Why would I want to invest money in social credit, right? It just sounds really fucking weird. Like he's trying to like do us a service for these NFTs, but you can talk about NFTs. Talking about NFTs and informing people like of what NFTs exist is fine and it's interesting and it's cool, right? Because there are things that I've seen, like there was like a gambling horse racing thing and breeding thing I saw on NFTs, and it was interesting, but it is gambling, right? And at the end of the day, no matter what you do, no matter the kind of NFT that exists, in its current state, it's pretty much a gamble. And what happens with people who gamble? Some people get really rich, but a lot of people lose money. And that's when the problem exists on it. They had another segment where they started talking about this, and this is the clip, you know, that is from the show. So it's not everything that they talk about, but it just comes off really bad.
Hey everybody, welcome back to NFT Talk with Kasim. Kasim's got his top 50 favorite NFTs to discuss. Why are you so bullish on the future of NFTs, Kasim?
I love animated cartoon digital fake money.
Oh.
And I have a whole portfolio that I want to pimp out on this show.
Yeah, let's do it. And then yank the rug.
And then just pull the segment down.
I knew you were into esports. Welcome back to Attack of the Show. We're going to check back in with Will and Gina.
I'm sorry. It doesn't look good. Stop the NFTs, right? Don't come on and push these particular types of things. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look for the audience. Good for the audience. It doesn't look good for you. Attack of the Show was a great show. It ended up failing, and some of that can be done on mismanagement of the entire network, correct? But now, if you continue to push this, you're only going to alienate your audience again, which was the problem before. People don't like NFTs. People who promote NFTs are only looking at NFTs for one reason: to make themselves and the people that they know that are involved more money. You will not get rich off any of these NFTs unless you're insanely lucky. Take the segment away from the show, because right now it's really feeling like you're trying to take people's nostalgia for the show, or maybe you're trying to chase that dream of your success in the past and hope that it becomes successful again, but it's not working. A long time has passed and people aren't who they used to be. If you promote NFTs, you are inadvertently going to cause a lot of harm to your audience that doesn't know any better. Maybe NFTs will be something one day, but right now they're not, and there's a lot of scamming happening.